Red Sox fans have longed to hear it. The Boston Red Sox are world champions.
Can you believe it?
It hasn't happened at Fenway Park for 95 years.
Fires. Swing and a miss. Strike three. It's over. The Red Sox have won the world championship.
Tune in to the newest show presented by Clovercrest Media. It's Obie's Backstop Podcast. Catch it twice a week, every Red Sox series finale on your favorite podcast platform.
On tonight's show, Frank and special guest Lien and Lee are talking about the skyrocketing rental car prices all across the country, Juneteenth and how people will now celebrate, and Pride Month. All that and more right now.
Live from the beautiful Clearwater, Florida, it's time for Speaking It Real.
Hey, it's Speaking It Real Wednesday edition, brought to you by CMG Podcast, Clovercrest Media Group. Today, I actually have a special guest with me by the name of Lien. He has his own his own podcast, which is called Talks with Lien. Hey, we're gonna bring him on. Well, there he is.
Hello, family and friends. Welcome to another Talks with Limley. Actually, this is the Speaking It Real edition. But I have a podcast that's on YouTube, Spotify, and all the other platforms that's released about once a week. So everybody come join and take a listen to the things that we go across. It's usually about people's careers and their paths and their journeys. Perfect.
Hey, you just killed my first question towards you, man.
Oh.
All in your intro. Hey, it's free, but you know what? It's great. You beat me to the punch. You know what? That's great. That's fine and dandy. Oh, no issues there. Hey, it's live, so you know. So anyway, just a little bit. We met pretty much in one of these podcast groups that we're a part of. I asked for guests. People come up, people don't. In this case, I'll do yours soon enough. Whether we do it tonight or another night.
Yeah.
So normally I have a co-host with me. His name is Carlos. He's with us on Friday nights. Right now, he hasn't been able to transition into Wednesday nights yet. I mean, we were normally doing Fridays, but obviously now with the pandemic, everything is just all opening up after the pandemic. Miami pretty much never really closed down. We had curfews, but pandemic kept everybody at home still. So now that everything's opened up, Fridays are not the best days, so we're moving over to Wednesday. So until my partner Carlos can't get in.
I think we lost.
What happened? No, we're still here. I got you.
Connection.
No, I hear you, Liam.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, please don't lose connection.
Okay, so normally my show, I also have a co-host too, but he's out doing another job right now. So hopefully he could join us maybe in 30 minutes or less. And so I don't know if you want me to add on. The reason why I actually reached out to you is all the podcast groups as you go through and look at all the groups and all the people. I kind of you look at their profile, you watch a little bit of their podcast, and you get a feeling if it's something that you would resonate with or if you would get along with that person. Some of the podcasts, I feel like they kind of focus only on one topic. And the thing that I really try to resonate with is people that I feel like they bring different perspectives, whether it could be things I don't agree with, but as long as they have some logic that I feel like I could talk to them, they have an openness. And that was one of the reasons why I reached out to you.
Well, yeah. Well, the thing is, the thing with Speaking It Real, Carlos and I started it. Carlos and I are on two totally different sides of the spectrum, politically speaking. I've known Carlos since we've been about maybe 12 years old. So we have a long history of friendship. And within all the political changes and society and everything else, we are on two different sides. But what we want to show the audience and we want to show everybody involved is that, hey, look, regardless if you're on two different sides, you can still talk about it without having the insults, without, you're going to have the back and forth. That's not a problem. I could sit here, I could have a back and forth with you. I could raise my voice, you could raise your voice a little bit. But at the end of the day, when the conversation's over, I'm not going to sit here and disrespect you. If I'm friends with you, I'm not going to unfriend you just because, we don't agree.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not the way that life should be in general. Just because we're on two different sides politically doesn't mean that I have to go ahead and not be a friend.
Yep. I think I'm more probably center left, and then my co-host is probably more center right. So we disagree on certain things. One thing that we're working on a new podcast, and the topic is Jeff Bezos and Amazon. Are they good for the world? So I'm center left, where I'm kind of saying, well, I don't think Amazon's doing the right things for its employees, and maybe certain aspects of the economy with it's a big thing to get into, but I'll just try to say, corrupt lobbyists and Amazon buying their way through with the government buying the way that they want it. So, but he's on the center right, where he's saying, well, if you have money to pay for that, then legally you're allowed to. It's lawful. And so I take the left side, where I don't agree with that. So,
right. Well, I mean, like me in general, I am pretty much down the middle. I could go right, I could go left. Depending on what we're talking about. So to me, like I said, I'm down the middle. Carlos is on the right. There is no middle, there's no left with him. So, when there's conversations we have where I'm like, yeah, you know what? You're absolutely right. There's somewhere I'm like, hey, no, you're wrong. This is where I see you're wrong, and obviously on the ones that I see that he's wrong, it's because I'm leaning left.
Yeah.
But, going on to how we met, was in a podcast group. The funny thing about this is that I was on the group. I was on one of the groups. I don't remember what it was. And it was pretty much the post. Oh, my mouse! I lost my cursor there. So the post read, "I'm seeking a internet station podcast wherever to host my 1-hour show called Joe's Rock and Roll Power Hour. I'm not a DJ. I'm a broadcaster. The format's hard rock blues. I hope you people understand what I want." Well, you know what? At the time when I first read it, I didn't understand. I read it too quickly, and my mind didn't really, just get it through. So
yeah.
So my reply to this guy was, DM me. I don't understand what you want.
Can you reread the title? Or is his posting? Is that on the spreadsheet?
Yeah, it's on the spreadsheet. That's go into podcast or ask for help and insult people.
Okay.
So he starts. He's pretty much, my response from him was, if you don't understand, what can I tell you? You don't even say who you are and what you do, which is very stupid of you. I took offense to that because I feel that, number one, I don't know you, and I'm not going to really introduce myself to you live publicly, so, or tell you much about me. And then for you to turn around and be like, hey, you're stupid. That's not the way to start something off.
That's very childish.
Well, right. It was, and, there was a lot of people that chimed into that. And I feel that after, like this morning I woke up, I reread everything, I looked at everything, and I kind of understood him. Like, hey, you know what? He's asking for help. People are replying. I replied. He was, I'm getting the feeling that he was kind of insulted because I didn't introduce myself to him. Okay, well, I kind of understand because, I mean, face to face, if I meet you face to face, I say, hey, I'm Frank. Nice to meet you. Maybe that's what he felt. So what I did this morning, I sent him a text or actually a DM through Facebook Messenger. Hey, my name is Frank. I'm the host of Speaking It Real, blah, 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 blah. And you know what? We got along just fine. It was one of those where I put, hey, let's take two. Let's do a do-over.
Yeah.
Because I decided to be the bigger person. Be like, hey, let's do this. But now I think that if he's asking for help, if you start insulting people like that, you're kind of in the wrong. Because the guy got a lot of crap for it. My dog's barking. What do you want? My dog's not used to Wednesday nights yet. Yeah. So yeah, that's exactly what it is. Okay, you gotta go back upstairs. So I think that's not the way to ask for help.
Yeah,
and I hope he's listening, because I told him, hey, catch up on my show. I'm going to talk about you, because you know what? A lot of the stuff that I talk about on Speaking It Real is, hold on, I'm sorry about that. Go outside. Go. So a lot of stuff that we talk about here is, besides the politics, besides social events, it's stuff that go on in our everyday lives. Mm-hmm. So you get a different aspect from it. So that was that. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And Joe,
you were the bigger man. You came up the next day and you messaged him and you said, hey, you closed it up really. You said, hey, if there was a misunderstanding to some extent, right? I mean, you gave that option. So correct.
I try to give that option just for the simple fact that, you know what, I don't need to sit here and argue with anybody, especially over, especially over a freaking podcast post.
Yeah, agreed, man.
I don't agree with that. We all live our lives. We all have our things to do.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, I mean, just because we don't get along, it's funny,
Yeah.
But I mean, for someone to go insulting somebody for no apparent reason doesn't make sense.
Agreed.
Yeah. But it's funny, and I'm gonna go a little bit off the script a second. I get a Facebook notification, right, of a friend request. And again, I'm part of the CMG podcast network. All right. So I do another podcast called the HHW Wrestling Show, or it's a hard hitting wrestling show. Mm-hmm. That's also part of the CMG network. So there's a lot of times where they share stuff. I mean, I share that show with, a bunch of wrestling groups that I'm part of on Facebook, because, we got to get our viewership up. So, and I get a Facebook request, and I'm very iffy about requests because I live my life. I'm very personal with my life. I don't post much of my life, and I don't need people to see my life much. You're going to see whatever I want you to see. Whatever I don't want you to see, you're not going to see.
Okay.
So I get a request from a guy named Joseph Joe. So I sent him a message.
From a JoJo?
Pretty much. And the thing is that I'm here thinking Joseph Joe, and I'm here thinking, okay, CMG. Why? Because the name of the owner of CMG is Joseph Aguilar. I hope I pronounced his last name right. Yeah. So, but we call him Joe.
Okay. So
I see Joseph Joe, and I think it's him.
Okay.
So
yeah,
I send a message. I'm like, do I know you? Mm-hmm. This guy replies to me, this is the big dog, Roman Reigns.
The wrestler? Okay, the wrestler?
The wrestler.
Okay.
Right? I'm like, yeah, okay. The guy sends me a picture of the guy's driver's license. And I'm like, oh, okay. So why are you sending me this? It's
Okay.
obviously a scammer.
Yeah,
Hands
yeah.
down.
Almost
You know-
what seems like 99% of Facebook friends when they send a request. I get so many spams. So.
Oh no, definitely. It's crazy. Oh, you see, you butchered the last name. Yeah, I know. I killed Joe. Listen, I butchered everybody's name. There's nothing I can do about that. I butcher everybody's names. It doesn't matter. So, but this guy comes back and is like, "How are you?" And I'm like, "How can I help you?" And he goes, "I'm texting on my dad's phone." Do you really think I'm going to believe that Roman Reigns is texting on his dad's phone?
Okay.
I'm not as stupid as he looks. It's like, come on, guy. But yeah, I kind of thought I'll go over that one real quick. Kind of one of those.
Did you get to the bottom of who that was?
No. This is actually going on right now. It's stuff that's gone on within the past 20 minutes. So it's like, okay, why am I getting this? Let's see. What should I reply? I'm texting on my dad's phone. Okay.
Well, isn't Roman Reigns? Shouldn't he be a millionaire? So he wouldn't be texting on his.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, come on. You're a millionaire. You're gonna tell me you need your dad's phone?
Yeah.
I should be like, where is your phone? Just for shits and giggles, Look, and the guy's answering right back. Oh, this is great. You look sweet.
What?
Yeah. Can you text my number? This is funny. Can you text my number? Sure. What's your number? He has a number. I'm not gonna text you. You're crazy. That's when they get my phone number.
Yeah.
Message me now before my dad's wakes. You look beautiful and you're a dumbass. Well, you know what? It's funny that I'm being told this because it's gonna bring us right back into. Oh, you want to see the text? Sure, I'll show you the text. Hold on. Here, let me show this screen with you guys. This is freaking funny. So here it is, right? Is it? You see? Do I know you? Hold on. Let me see if I'm able to make this bigger. Zach, can you make it bigger or no? Is there a way? Oh, I think I found it. Hold on. Yeah, here it is. All right, I think that guys might be able to see it bigger.
Yeah.
So, do I know you? This is the big dog Roman Reigns. Yeah, okay. You see, this is where they have the guy's license.
Yeah.
Sends me pictures. How are you? Yeah. Okay. Da-da-da. See, this is a phone number that they sent me, which 531 is an area code for Florida. Mm-hmm. Message me now before my dad's wake. You look beautiful.
So this spam bot type of thing knows that you work in the wrestling industry, or you do the radio station?
I guess so. I guess I saw a post that I did somewhere. So let's see. I'm going to say thank you, but I prefer women. Have a good day. Have a good day. Let's be nice to someone, So anyways, this is going to bring us right into, hey, there's a co-host.
Frank, hi. How you doing?
Hey, hi, how are you doing?
Doing great.
That's great.
I'm jumping right in the middle here.
Hey, you know what? That's perfect. I mean, we always like that.
If it was wrestling, I'd be tagging in.
Exactly. This little hurrah here is going to bring us into our next topic, Pride Month. We haven't really spoken much about it on Speaking It Real. just because we pretty much haven't had a lot of time to really talk about it. You know, just we've had a lot of other stuff going on, and you know, we had what's his name? We had that football player that just came out.
Yeah, on the Raiders, right?
Yeah, the Raiders guy, where he was actually, you know, Bo Jackson came out and was like, hey, that's great, you know, but he came out and now he's, you know, I guess he's the first openly gay football player. I mean, there was.
Yeah. It was
well, actually, maybe not openly. No, I'm sorry. Not the first, but actively. He's the first active openly gay football player, right. Which I'm okay with people coming out. You know, that's never really bothered me. I have friends that are gay. I don't really, how do I put it? Not that I don't care, you know, but that, hey, you're gay, you're gay. You know, as long as you know that I don't go your way, you know, don't come looking for me in that sense. You want to be friends, we're friends. You know what I'm saying?
I think for somebody like a football player, maybe that coming out is a statement that in the past it wasn't cool, right? There was a time, I don't know how far back you want to go, right? The 80s or the 60s or whatever, that society didn't accept and didn't support people that had that struggle. So it's I think that's the point of it. That it's not quite normalized yet. Whereas a lot of us are the same way, like, hey, that's cool, whatever, you know, it's, you know, what you do in the bedroom is your thing. Mm-hmm. But the reason he has to come out and say it is because there was some oppression, some non-acceptance in the past. And this is another baby step towards making it okay for people, right? Because the people that aren't famous, then they're struggling with, you know, how do I tell my family, or how do I move about at school? You know, how is it not a hidden, shameful culture?
Right.
You know, so I'm guessing that's, you know, I don't know, but I'm guessing that's kind of what the goal of that is.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think that I mean, as a child, my mom had a lot of gay friends around. You know, yeah. And obviously, when you're still young-minded and you don't really know how to put it. Not that you don't know what's going on, but you don't understand it. Yeah. And especially, I mean, I'm 45, so I'm still from that older. Let's see, hold on, Catherine. Gay people that know you're not gay will not go after you. That's just a fear from a straight person. You know what? Catherine's right.
Yeah.
You know, but at the same time, depending, and I'm going to go against you there a minute, because depending on what situation you put yourself in, okay, yeah. and I would elaborate on that in a minute, you know. But as a child, I was surrounded by gay people. I didn't understand it. You know, I was like, okay, whatever. To me, they're regular people. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, and to go on to Catherine's comment was, I had, you know, I was what, in my mid-20s now at this point. Had a friend of mine that he came out, you know, and it was his birthday, and he goes, look, for my birthday, I want to go to this bar. Lo and behold, I said, hey, let's go. We ended up in a gay bar.
You were the wingman.
Yeah, I was definitely the wingman, you know.
Or a secret crush.
Uh-oh, he's testing you.
Who knows? No, secret crush, no, because you know what? When he came out, you know, I was very blunt with him, and I told him, I said, look, we're friends.
Yeah.
But don't you ever try to kiss me. Don't you ever try to touch me inappropriately, because that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
I told him
women tell me that all the time. That's a fair game.
But yeah, so I ended up in a gay bar with this guy. You know, I mean, I think we were a group of like maybe 4 guys. You know, I was like, well, hey, you're my friend. You want to go? Let's go. I didn't care.
Wait, were the only straight guy out of the four, or what was the?
No, there was. Well, lo and behold, there was only two of us that were straight. I only knew about one that was gay. Everybody else was gay, but I didn't know that at that time. But whatever. You know what? We end up at the bar, and I'm just like to myself in a corner because I'm like, I'm not hanging here, you know. And
well, you start dancing, you might get some attention, bro. We know you're a good dancer, right?
Yeah, right. So I went to the bartender. I asked for a drink. I was like, I'm gonna have a drink at least. And I had the drink, and right off the bat, the bartender's like, "You're out of your element." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "You're not gay. What are you doing here?" You know? Yes, Catherine, you put yourself in that situation. Yes, Catherine, I put myself in that situation.
Wait, but wasn't the story that you didn't know he was taking you there, so you didn't put yourself in that position. You're a friend.
That's right. Yeah. Right.
I mean, respect that friend should have at least told you ahead of time, hey, I'm going to a gay bar tonight. Do you want to come? And
right.
Yeah. They should have at least.
You know what? I think maybe he assumed I knew. You know, but at the time I was like, yeah, whatever, man. I don't care. You're gay. That's fine. It is what it is. You know, I think
the bar called the Rainbow Parakeet, or what was the name of the bar?
Oh, dude, I don't remember what the name of the bar was. It wasn't a Rainbow Parakeet.
It was called the Funny Banana.
No.
Okay.
You know, but you know, nowadays, obviously, it's a lot more accepted than it was before, and I think it's a good thing. I mean, look, whatever side you're on, you know, whatever you want to do, you do it and you be happy. You just have to respect everybody else, you know, and their wants and their needs. You know, because at the end of the day, you're not going to want to be put in a situation, and you're not, you know, where you're coming off the wrong way to somebody.
Yeah.
And,
I think it's real simple of like if two people love each other, they want to spend time together, they make each other happy. What do I care? You know, if two dudes want to spend time together, go for it. You know, like, any bother me?
I mean, it could be two dudes, it could be two girls. I mean, it don't matter.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
You know. Hey, listen, we all have that one, you know. So I mean, it doesn't really matter, you know. I mean, to me, it's all right, you know. We're going to do a quick commercial ad, and then we're gonna come right back at you guys.
Commercial time.
Yeah, commercial.
Hello, my name is Joe Aguirre. I'm the president of Clovercrest Media Group, and here at CMG, we have a wide variety of podcasts, including sports shows like Keys to the City, The Roll Call, Throwing Jabs, All Four Downs, and Jawing About the G-Men, and great true crime shows like Sticky Week, Crimes and Consequences, Ivy League Murders, and Bird, the unsolved murder of David Eichmann. You can find all these podcasts and so much more by visiting clovercrestmedia.com.
Hey, we're back. Woo-hoo. So hold on. We just played a commercial. Did Joe talk about speaking it real in that commercial? Zach, I know you're back there somewhere. All right. We got to have Joe talk about speaking it real in that commercial, man. What's up with that? So anyway.
Plug the show?
I don't think it plugged the show. I got to look at it. You know, then again, I wasn't paying much attention to it. You know, I just don't recall hearing. You see, Captain said no. Joe didn't plug the show. Damn it, Joe! I gotta talk to Joe about that. You know, no, I mean, look.
Works.
You know what? Look, you know what? In all honesty, I know that Clovercrest Media, we have over 40 different podcasts. Where we talk about sports, politics, social issues. What else do we have? We got murder mysteries. Just a bunch. Why do we need to plug it? It's the hottest show out there. Thank you, Zach. You know, so you already got to plug it in. Exactly, man. It's.
Oh wait, am I not supposed to Should I not?
No, no, it's all right. Don't worry about it, man. You're free to talk, free to say what you want. We don't discriminate. It's one of those where what, we're here. Sometimes we're gonna curse, sometimes we're not.
Gotcha.
You know what?
I'm gonna speak it real.
Exactly. So you speak what's on your mind, man. That's not a problem.
Gotcha.
So, IKEA in Atlanta, they so-called had a celebration for Juneteenth, right? We all know what Juneteenth is, correct?
Yeah, you said the IKEA in Atlanta, right?
Yeah, the IKEA in Atlanta.
Okay. The furniture store. Okay, we're with it. Yeah.
Correct. You guys have IKEAs in California? You guys are in California?
Yeah, lots. Yeah.
Okay,
we're
good.
in Vegas. We got one.
You're in Vegas. Okay, all right, cool. All right, so they had a menu for items such as, the only thing on the menu that day was fried chicken, watermelon, mac and cheese, and collard greens.
Yeah.
I'm going to venture off and say that the guy who came up with this is a racist.
I mean, it sounds delicious. I would eat that. I would eat that whole meal.
No, you know what? I think it's, I mean, it sounds great, but I think the whole thing behind it is wrong. And I'm going to give you my take on it. My take on this is, when you refer to a person of color or a black person, all right, you don't call them the N-word, okay? But when you start referring to items as fried chicken, watermelon, mac and cheese, and collard greens, you're kind of referring to them. And a lot of the times, those 1, 2, 3, 4 items go hand in hand with being a racist. When majority of times of when you put it in context. There's a
stereotype that black people like these foods, right? That's the
correct.
Stereotype
Correct. That's the stereotype. There you go. You took the words out of my mouth. That's what I was looking for. So then when you use them, and I'll tell you, I know people that I no longer associate myself with that will call black people the N-word, and will use always a reference. Oh yeah, all they like is fried chicken, the watermelons, mac and cheese, and collard greens. That's the end food. And you know what? IKEA, sorry, you're wrong.
I wonder if they got someone, if they would have just got like a black manager or black anybody to coordinate with them. That would have been hugely kind of a smart thing to do. It kind of, from what I'm seeing on that news article, it looks like maybe they just had some person
like a racist kitchen manager
or somebody working there that has no idea of what the implications of Juneteenth is, and then they're just trying to add their.
Well, let me ask you guys this: what if on Chinese New Year, in the cafeteria they roll out egg rolls and noodles and some wontons? Is that the same thing, or is that different somehow? I don't know.
To me, that'll be different.
I think it's all about intention.
Perception.
I know.
Well, intention's right.
Intention. I think some people have that saying where they say bad things start with good intentions. Or what's that saying?
The road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Yeah. And so you could say if someone at IKEA, some white person's like, oh, that black people like fried chicken and collard greens and whatnot.
Yeah,
it's good intentions. Now, in my opinion, I would not be upset at that white person. Now, if their intentions secretly were to be racist, that would suck. If there's a history that one person doing the weird, wrong, racist things, there's probably, it starts to color a trend there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, going on to the Chinese New Year food that you said, I think that'll be okay because you're doing a Chinese New Year, you know, so kind of you will get away with that because I don't think that the thing is this the way I'm going to see it now. You've had a lot more racism, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but I think that within society in the years, obviously you've had a lot more racism towards the black community than what you have, I think, towards the Asian community.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's
so if you had a dog-shaped dessert on that Chinese New Year's meal, then that probably crosses the line, right?
a dog.
Yeah, if you made dog-shaped brownies.
Dog-shaped
I think,
wontons.
or a cat shape.
Yeah.
You know, I think there you will be crossing the line. I get what you're saying.
Okay. So it's interesting
You know,
how these social implications are very subtle, because in both situations you're saying, hey, this is your day, I'm gonna try to make some food that fits your day. In the Chinese case it works, in the Juneteenth case it doesn't work. What about on St. Patrick's Day? You roll out some corned beef and some cabbage, some sauerkraut, right? So would an Irish guy go, oh, why do you think I like corned beef? Just because I'm Irish?
right, but you know what? Look, sketchy peasant said it right. You have to live under a rock to not know chicken and watermelon is racist. It's been a term to slander black people for decades. Chicken and watermelon is a black stereotype, and you know what? And he's right. I mean, that's always been the wording to slander black people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I've heard it. I hear it every now and then. And I think it's wrong. I mean, it's like right now, if I say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go to the Chinese restaurant and I'm gonna go eat a dog and a cat.
Yeah.
What am I doing? I'm slandering the Asian community.
Yeah.
Because you know what? For a long time saying, hey, what kind of meat do you eat at a Chinese restaurant?
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably eating a back alley cat or a dog.
Yeah.
You know, so is it right? No. You know, so we're coming to those terms of where we have to kind of draw the line. And I think, again, if it's a Chinese New Year, we're having, the
egg
food,
rolls are cool.
Right, egg rolls are cool regardless, any day. But I think it's in the context of how you put it, and in this case, when you're looking at Juneteenth,
Well, what strikes my curiosity then is, so if you're at the IKEA cafeteria and you want to make some food that celebrates Juneteenth, what would be the right answer? If you can't do the chicken and watermelon, what would be the right thing to serve? Do you keep your normal menu, or is there anything that celebrates the day?
Purple drink.
Oh, you son of a bitch. You racist.
But it's amazing that for IKEA that there's probably multiple managers involved. I would think a director and then a C-level person. Maybe not a C on this one. So maybe you got a couple managers, a director involved, and not one single person said, hey, don't we think fried chicken and watermelons seems a little bit racist? Not a single person brought it up.
Well, they're from Europe, man. They don't know. They're like Swedish, right? Some kind of Swedish, I think.
Yeah, let me look at the article.
Well, apparently they revised the menu that included collard greens, cornbread, mashed potatoes, and meatloaf. Okay, so this story changed a little bit. So they did revise it a little bit. Okay, which is not too bad, But I think, cornbread's good, but I think the initial menu is what killed it. You kind of.
It was Atlanta. They should have known better.
Exactly my point. They should have known a lot better. So it's kind of, So anyways.
Was this the meal? Was this the meal for the public that was walking in looking for furniture? Okay, not
correct.
An employee. Okay.
No, right. It was for the public and employees.
Okay.
You see, sketchy peasant's back, and he's one of our biggest supporters here. He's a hell of a guy. I think he's actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's on the West Coast also.
Yeah.
Hey, Sketchy, you're also on the West Coast, correct? So then, his stuff is soul food would be a better choice. Black eyed peas, candied yams, dried flesh, sweet potatoes, mac and cheese, stewed greens, cabbage, collard greens, kale, mustard, or turnip. So The comparison to Asian and Irish celebrities to what IKEA offered in honor of Juneteenth is like comparing apples to oranges. Chinese New Year's and St. Patrick's Day are cultural celebrations. Juneteenth is not. Damn. She's right. Elizabeth Garcia put it on there too.
So
okay,
Juneteenth is not a celebration. It's saying this is to commemorate that we ended slavery. Is that the goal of Juneteenth? Okay, yeah.
Correct. Right. So I mean, I could get it. I mean, after seeing Elizabeth's comments, I she put a good twist on it, I guess, and she's right. You know, I would completely agree with her comment on that.
Yeah, well spoken.
Yeah, very, 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 very well spoken. So, you know, I'm actually this weekend. I'm traveling, and I was looking at plane tickets, rental cars, hotels, and I'm not sure how crazy prices are, you know, towards your guys' end of the, neck of the woods, you know. But I could tell you that I'm traveling up north. I'm going towards Rhode Island, and then I'm actually going to do this show at our studios in Connecticut on Friday night.
Nice.
You know, so I was like, you know what? Might as well. They're only an hour away, about an hour, 15, hour and a half, more or less. You know what? Why not? So I'm looking at everything, and my plane ticket was cheaper to fly, round trip to fly, than my rental car for 2 days.
Ooh.
My rental car is $120 a day.
Damn, did you get the Cadillac, dude, or what?
No, I got the cheapest one. Okay, the cheapest one was an SUV. It was a mid-sized SUV. The economy cars are like $200 some dollars.
Oh wow!
It is freaking nuts. You know, the hotel rooms. Like I found I think I'm staying at a Motel 6. I was like, I don't need something crazy. I just need a place to sleep at night and be out the next morning. But the hotel was $80 a night, which is not too bad. I can handle that. Right. But what kills me is the car, really.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know why. I mean, I know that I used to rent cars all the time. I have a son that lived 5 hours away from me, so whenever I go see him or go pick him up and bring him back to Miami, I rent a car and come back. And the car was with insurance and everything else was maybe $60.
Yeah, I remember you used to be able to get a rental car like the cheapie for $35 is about a normal rate. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Sketchy. Everyone wants to travel now in businesses and take advantage of it. Frank, you better work some overtime at the car wash to pay for your trip. Just so you have an understanding, the car wash is a running joke. All right. When I first met Joe, the owner of CMG, you know, we had a running joke on one of the shows that he met me at a car wash.
Ah.
So my wonderful friends at CMG and majority of the fans that are part of the CMG network know me as Frank the car wash guy for some reason.
Yeah.
They even made a commercial. All right, with Frank the car wash. Hey Zach, you got the commercial around? Watch it so you can check it out. No, you're gonna laugh your ass off. I think he still has it. Zach, do you have it so you can play it right quick, or do you want me to look for it? Hold on, let's see. Let me see if I find it. I mean, it was funny, man.
Somebody got to work a car wash, you know.
Oh no, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't think we got it. No, they took it down. These people.
Oh, you got censored from your car wash?
No, actually, no, we don't have it.
You can't live stream it because you have your shirt off or something.
No. I think that was a picture of me. Oh, they took it. No, but I think we took it down. We took it off our broadcast list. But yeah, that was funny. But I guess Zach took it down. So Zach, if you find it, just send us a message right quick, and we'll go ahead and play it. But so yeah, Frank from the car wash. So those are rental prices, and how we got that, I don't know.
I believe I know part of the answer. So we had coronavirus, right? So these rental car companies couldn't rent out cars while everybody was staying home. So they tried to sell off their fleets. They're like, we ain't making any money renting. So let's unload all these cars, or at least make money selling.
Oh
our
yeah, I
fleets.
remember the news on that.
Right. So they sold out their fleet. And then we're kind of coming out of coronavirus now, right? So everybody's out traveling again. And there's a microchip shortage in Taiwan. Well, so all the microchips a majority of microchips are made in Taiwan. Semiconductors, computer parts. So Taiwan scaled back thinking, hey, coronavirus, we're gonna cut down our production. But it turns out people wanted more electronics than before. They got stimulus checks and they need more computers around the house. So you have a mismatch in supply demand. So it turns out our new cars have a lot of computers and chips and semiconductors in them. So there are new car factories, like Ford is having a lot of trouble. They can build thousands and thousands of trucks, but they don't have the computer parts to put in them. So now the car lots can't sell new cars. The rental fleets have sold off all their old cars. They can't buy enough new cars to rent out. And in fact, over by our place here in Vegas, there's some car dealerships by the freeway. And you look at their lots, and the lots look pretty, you got a car and then about 4 spaces and another car. It's usually car lots are packed full, right? These car lots over here, they're about a quarter or a third full.
A third, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of empty spaces over there. So it's a weird, kind of side effect of our, coronavirus world lockdown and pandemic. The thing is we have a shortage of cars that the rental companies can't buy new cars to replace the fleets that they sold off, I believe, is most of the answer to that.
I think that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense as to why these prices are out of control.
Yeah.
But after you drive the car, you got to take it to the car wash. Check this out. Check it out.
Do you have an old, dirty car? Is it covered in pollen or mud? Or does it just look gross? If so, we got you covered. Straight out of Clearwater, Florida, it's Frank's Car Wash. Owned by Frank Cuesta, the #1 guy for all your car washing needs in the greater Florida area. So if your car is muddy, if it's covered in pollen, or it's just nasty, gross, in need of a deep clean, don't go anywhere else.
Oh yeah, that's so clean.
Frank's prices are truly unbeatable. They're the best in Florida. When you're feeling dirty, check out Frank's Car Wash.
When you're feeling dirty, check out Frank's Car Wash.
You see what my buddies did to me at CMG? Look, they played that yesterday last week on me, just straight out of the blue. I had no idea that even went on. And we normally do like maybe one commercial break, like midway through the show, and we go forward. But before the show, Zach was like, "Hey, we got to do some commercials, blah 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 blah." I'm like, "Sure, fine, no problem. Look, let's do this. How many commercials we got to run? 3? No problem. We'll do them every 15 minutes. No big deal." And then he's like, no. And I mean, we started talking about things. We got very wrapped up in what we were talking about. And Zach's like, "Hey, we got to go to commercial." I was like, "Okay, go." When I saw that commercial, part of me wanted to kill him. The other part of me was just laughing my ass off because I could not believe that they wasted so much time, on a running joke, a car wash joke.
Hey, I think they made you look good, man. That was a good commercial.
Oh, you know what? They made me look good. I just, now they've actually made me want to open up a freaking car wash.
Yeah.
I mean, hell.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is what it is. I mean, thanks to these wonderful people here at CMG for providing that wonderful commercial of Frank and his car wash. So now that everything is opening up, after I'm not gonna say after COVID, because COVID's obviously not done, and I think COVID's not gonna go away for a long time. But after the hard hit pandemic that we've had, I think we're obviously over the hill right now, and we're probably coming down, and we're probably just gonna stay like this eventually. But a lot of people have been having a separation anxiety type. Where I could tell you that I still don't do much. I like to keep my kids close to me as to too far away. I don't know how, have you guys opened up completely over there yet or no?
Vegas is open about 100% now.
Yeah, you come to Vegas, you wouldn't know anything was different.
Right, yeah, I think.
Yeah, supermarkets, you go down to the strip, to a casino, and anywhere you go in town. I mean, you might see 1 out of 100 people still wearing a mask. So, presumably most people are vaccinated or already had COVID or, are choosing to take that risk. But as far as just walking around looking, you couldn't tell anything was different here. If you jumped in a time machine, or you didn't know what day it was, you wouldn't be able to tell. We're just coming out of pandemic.
Right.
Times, so.
Yeah, Miami, like out here in Miami, we never really shut down. We had a curfew in effect, where between 12 to 6 o'clock in the morning, you're not supposed to be in the streets. Cops didn't really enforce it, but that was supposedly we weren't supposed to be on. Businesses down in South Beach had to be closed by, I think, 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm sorry, no. They had to be closed by 11 o'clock at night. Was the latest time they could be open.
Yeah.
But as far as us closing down, we never really did.
The salsa dancing must continue.
Yes. South Beach is just, for me nowadays, it's just too chaotic. I wouldn't even bother with it. And that's what it is.
So on that article, is it the separation anxiety? Is that since parents and kids have been together at home so much, and now that the kids are going back to school, so the parents are getting separation anxiety? Is that what the article was?
Pretty much, yeah. It's about just the parents having, separation anxiety from the kids. At least right, yeah. It's pretty much, in most cases, parent anxiety will be temporary as they get used to time apart from their kids again. And that's what it is. You spend so much time with the people in your household. Now it's like, okay, or especially your kids.
Right, you love them.
Right, of course. Look, I'm one that my son stayed home for a little, for at the beginning of the school year, because I was like, you know what? We know that he has asthma, he's had the breathing issues as a child, that, so we're kind of, all right, you know what? Let's keep him home. But what started happening to him? My son has always been a straight A and B student. Okay. And his grades just started going like this, tumbling.
Yeah.
And he was having a hard time adjusting to online schooling.
Yeah.
So I spoke to his mom, and I'm like, look, or actually we spoke, and we're like, we got to put him back into regular school. Let's see how it goes, and let's just, hopefully he does what he has to do, and he wears his mask, and he doesn't get sick. It's all you could do nowadays.
Yeah, because if you do everything you can to avoid the virus, then there's some trade-off. Somewhere there's a trade-off. You're sacrificing something else, and in this case, you're saying, "Hey, is it worth sacrificing my son's academic career over some small chance?"
Right. Well,
whatever you believe it to be. Yeah.
Right. In his case, it was more of he was having more anxiety because he knows what he could do academically.
Yeah.
And he wasn't there. He wasn't, not that he wasn't getting it, but he wasn't doing it. Mm-hmm. So he wasn't reaching his full potential.
Yeah.
So this plays a factor. As you know, when you're used to always being an A student or B student or an A and B student, and then you're doing things and it's just you're mediocre.
Yeah.
And when you have a child that's on that smart spectrum, because that's what I call him, he's super smart. And I don't say it because he's my son. He's smart. And he's here, and now he's down here, but he wants to be here, and he can't get here. So in here, in your mind, it screws with you, it messes with you. Mm-hmm. And that's mentally he was having those issues where it was, I can't breathe. And his, a lot of the times he was actually at his grandmother's. And, she's an older lady, great lady, but she's older. Mm-hmm. And I was like, look, I'm at work. I can't do much right now. Mm-hmm. If he's that bad off, call 911. Mm-hmm. There's nothing you can do. Call 911. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Call 911. Let's see what they say. If they're going to take him somewhere, I'll leave work. If not, it's not going to happen.
So his anxiety about his declining grades caused him to kind of have breathing troubles. Is that what you're saying?
He just started having anxieties because his grades were dropping.
Yeah.
So he was just hyperventilating, very, very antsy, very, my God, what am I doing? But so when we put him back in school, where he was surrounded by others, you saw where his grades started coming back up.
Yeah.
So it was, like I mentioned to his mom, hey, look, we put him in. As long as he's doing what he has to do and he protects himself, hopefully he doesn't get sick. And if he does, we deal with it.
Yeah.
I didn't, the only places I went to were the grocery store because I had to do groceries.
You gotta eat.
Everybody.
Exactly. Of course. To work because my job did not allow me to work from home, even though I can, but it didn't allow me to because they just said no.
Yeah, gotta make money to eat.
Right. And I will go to a friend's house, which I knew that they were safe. And I knew they were safe. How? Because they all work from home. And the only thing they did was go to the grocery store. That's it. And you know what? I could say that I never got COVID. I messed up. I did end up in a situation where I'm surprised I didn't get it.
Oh
yeah. I spent 4 hours with my mother in a car.
Yeah.
And my mom had COVID.
I gotcha.
We didn't know that.
Yeah.
We found out the next day because my mom's like, my mom wasn't feeling well. She went to the doctor.
Yeah.
They gave her the test and she's like, I got COVID. Like, okay. Guess what? This one didn't get it. Nor my wife.
I've heard a lot of examples where a person will get COVID and their spouse, who is presumably in the house with them and sleeping in the same bed, and like there's nobody you're more intimate with than your spouse.
Right.
Like the spouse didn't get it. I've heard several, just people I know, several cases of where one spouse got it and the other didn't. And it's so confusing to me because presumably you got it from somebody else that you weren't even as intimate as with your spouse. So there's so many variables and so many question marks that it makes it so hard to understand and hard to prepare for and deal with, that it's like, man, that makes no sense to me. If you got it from some stranger at the supermarket or wherever you were, or if you were partying at a pool or however you got it, presumably whoever that wasn't even as close to you as the person you go to sleep next to. So that's so strange to me how that worked out. And I saw several instances of it, so it confuses the hell out of me that I just don't get it.
Yeah. I mean, like Liz said it. My husband and I got COVID, but my kids did not.
Yeah.
And she's right. It's one of those where
it hits
I
everyone
don't
all
understand.
differently.
Correct. I mean, I was very surprised that me hanging out with my mom, I didn't get it. And I'll tell you, around, we got to a point that around our family, or actually me, not we, mainly me. Since I knew my mom took care of herself, I was like, I'm not going to mask up around my mother. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
And then when she ended up with it, I was like, what? And I was around other people at certain points where they ended up with COVID. And I'm like, why? Yeah. How? Never got me.
Yeah.
Why?
Go ahead. Go and finish your point, and then I'll add something.
Why? I don't know. I don't. That's the one thing about COVID that I don't understand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, jumping back to that story about with your kids and his grades going down and whatnot. I spoke with a mom that her kid, I think, was 5 or 6 years old. Mm-hmm. And so the kid had to be homeschooled thereafter because of the COVID thing. But that mom, in this case, she said she noticed her kid was learning better at home, oddly, for whatever reason. So the mom made sure that the kid had a dedicated room, made sure the kid was not, during education hours, the kid was not leaving the room and playing with the toys and or bothering her mom working. The mom was able to work at home, and the mom noticed, like, holy crap, my kid, like whatever in that last 6 months, like that kid was learning a whole lot. So then it was funny because I asked her, I was like, so do you want your kid to stay at home? And the mom was like, well, I kind of like it when she's at school, so I got my time. But she's like, it was undeniable for her that her kid was definitely learning. It seemed like her kid was learning faster at home. So it's weird how your kid, her kid, just the differences, COVID, from your mom, you, I mean, everything is so different for everyone.
Oh, no, definitely. Look, the kids learning, at home or at school, I think actually it all depends on the kids. I mean, let's see, Liz says one of my kids does better in school and the other focuses better virtual. Correct. I mean, that's what goes on in my house. I mean, my stepdaughter, when it comes down to going to school, she hates going to school.
Yeah.
She's going to be, I believe, a junior. She's going to be a junior in high school. Or maybe she is, and now she's going to be a senior. I'm going to be trying. But, she's doing good. I mean, she's going to be a junior in high school.
Okay.
Because my nephew's going to be a senior, I believe. I think Liz can answer me that one. Every kid is different, learns differently, but I believe they all need social interaction. She's absolutely correct.
That's a great point. Yeah.
Instead of being in school, instead of being home, especially K through 5 grades. Ovi is actually part of he's the HHW show host, the Hard Hitting Wrestling show that we normally do on Wednesday nights at 8:00. Yeah, so then my stepdaughter's gonna be actually freshman, sophomore. She's gonna be a junior, I believe. So either way, but she
Liz has confirmation, junior.
Yeah. So what happens? Her going to school, her grades were horrible. We would fight with her to get her to go to school. Yeah, there's Catherine. Catherine's the mom. You see, so thank goodness I was right. So to get her
close call, Frank. Close call.
Yeah, no. So to get her to go to school and keep her grades up was horrible. We had a hard time with that. But her doing schooling from home, her grades were fine. They're good. We expected her to. I mean, I honestly thought, and I know that I'm going to get shit for it later on when I go back upstairs, but I thought Juliana was going to bomb. I thought she was going to bomb because I was like, nah, she does horrible at going to school. At home, she's going to bomb. And you know what? She did surprisingly. She surprised me. I was super, I am as proud as I could be of her.
Yeah.
you know, and I'm glad that she did the right thing, you know. But like again, going back to my son, is at home he was horrible. At school he did good. Now what happens? I'm not, you know, out here at least when you're at school learning, if someone in your class has COVID, guess what? You get sent home for 2 weeks.
Oh.
So he will have to do schooling for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So it started happening on a regular basis where he'll go to class, he'll go to school. The following week, you get a phone call right in the morning. Ring. Hey, please know that we got to keep your son home because COVID. So someone in his class had COVID, blah, blah, blah. He can't come home. He can't come to school for another 2 weeks. Like, okay. That was happening once a month. Now, when
disruptive.
It's very disruptive. You know, his grades just did this all, you know, all school year. When, you know, I've never been the type of parent that I'm going to look at his work every single day. I'm not going to do that. I believe school is his responsibility. And if he does bad, he's going to pay the consequences. You know, whatever it is, whether it's you got to go to summer school, whether you get grounded, you know, or whatnot. You know, I would spot check him. I wouldn't go through his books every single day. I refuse to do that.
Just tell him, hey, look, man, if you don't do good in school, you're going to end up working at a car wash.
So,
you want the scientist job, or you want?
And Frank's car wash only pays minimum wage too.
So you know what happens? That this last semester of school, he was home probably the last month, pretty much. I think he went to school the last 3 weeks of school, and his grades really took a tumble. And I go to him and said, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he comes back. He goes, "Don't worry about it." I'm like, "What do you mean, don't worry about it?" He goes, "My grades are all going to come up." And he goes, "I will end the semester with at least all B's." I'm like, "You better be right." Because you're going to be in deep shit. And we're talking about that. In history, he had an F.
Uh-oh.
Science, he had a D. Language arts, he had a D. He had D's and F's. That was down. And a part of that was my fault for not checking it either. You know? And I was like, all right, we're going to have... And I just started checking them every day at that point. Because I'm like, look, you're not... I told him, I said, your grades don't come up, you're going to summer school. I don't care. And he's like, no! Because no kid wants to go to summer school.
Well, that sounds like you're a great parent, though, because you saw, hey, your kid's struggling a little bit, so you stepped up your effort.
So well, you have to. As a parent, you have to do that. You know, and you know what? That little shit ended up with all B's.
Thanks for your help, right?
Yeah, well, he ended up going right back to school.
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, at the end of it, it is what it is. And he got lucky that he didn't have to go to summer school. You know? So it's, hey, can't complain. You know, let's see. Yeah. Let's see what does Liz say. And she probably hits it. He's too smart for his own good. He slacks off and then knows exactly what he needs to do to bring him up. Liz is my sister. So if there's anyone that knows him better than me and his mother, it will be her. He spent plenty of time with her. You know, and that's pretty much it. You know, I mean, COVID's, I think, been a learning experience for everybody. You know?
Yeah. So it seems like different kids learn different, perform differently in different situations. And this separation anxiety that we started with, it seems like we've gotten used to a new way of doing things. And if then you got to change again, then that's hard for people to change all the time, right? And to not have a routine or to know what to expect, hey, let's throw another wild card at you and see how you handle life again.
Well, yeah, I think we have to have, routines. And when you kind of step out of that routine and you're stuck stuck doing the same thing for so long, when you go back to the regular norm, you feel different. You know, and it will be hard to transition on the next school year. I think Ovi is completely right. I think next school year, you know, depending on where you're at and what, and no, you know what, it's not depending, because I think every single school is going to be open. And, you know, I think maybe some kids might still be able to get away with online learning. You know, let's see, what does Irene say? I refuse to go back to the office. Irene, let me ask you a question, though. I get that you refuse to go back to the office, but what happens if your job says you have to go back to the office? Why do you refuse to go back to the office? Have you been vaccinated? Have you not been vaccinated? Have you taken care of yourself? Or do you not take care of yourself? So
Frank getting deep here. He's going to find out.
Well, you know what? Look, I know Irene personally. I used to work with her.
Yeah.
I think she's a great person. But at the end of the day, I will quit. Okay, but Irene, why will you quit? Why not go back? Why not go back to the office? What are the reasons? You know, it's simple. Okay, you're vaccinated, so why not go back to the office? That's my thing. I mean, okay, you're vaccinated. You're telling me that you're not going to go back to the office. Why not?
Yeah, it looks like some people want to go back to the office, though. So it's interesting. Just like kids do better in different environments, it looks like adults, we also do better in different environments too, right?
Right. Well, the driving time. Well, Irene, let me ask you a question, though. Okay, the driving time. But when you first took that job, you knew about the driving time. So what's the difference now? Right, because she's probably comfortable at home. I mean, look, who's not comfortable at home? I mean, when I'm allowed to work from home, guess what? I stay in my boxers all day, and I'm not even wearing a shirt. You know, I'm walking around my house barefooted. I gotta work, no big deal. Just jump on my computer, blah 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 blah, and I do my job. Of course, I'm more comfortable at home.
Do you go out in the front driveway and wash a car, or is that different? That's once a week.
That's once a week. You know, God damn it, Joe, the car wash. What the hell did I just start here? You know, but you know,
yeah.
I think it just really all depends on. Let's see, what did Catherine say here? Catherine said, I was getting super depressed at home. I went back to work in February. Yes, I think Catherine's situation was a little different than majority of everybody else's situation. You know, Catherine is a cancer survivor. So for her, we found out she had cancer right when the pandemic started. So for her, it worked out.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked out in a sense where she was able to work from home. Not a big deal. You know, she did everything that she had to do.
Yeah.
You know, and she's cancer free now. You know.
Yeah.
So for her in that case, you know, staying at home for her was playing with your mind here. Yeah. So obviously, it's good to drive to work. So Irene says, here the winter is brutal. Driving in the snow is not fun. Okay, I understand that. But before working at home, before the pandemic, you drove to work. Where are we at? Just because driving is brutal. Okay, fine. You know what? Your job says you have to go to the office. You're gonna quit. All right, quit. Then who's gonna pay your bills? But either way, it is what it is.
Maybe she could start an OnlyFans thing and make some money that way.
Oh,
sorry. that wasn't meant to be offensive. But there's so much online work nowadays.
Oh, there is.
Wait, OnlyFans lets you work from home?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
It's a can of worms you just opened.
Sorry.
Yeah. You know what? On that note, Yes, it's different. Pandemic, COVID, stay home is a reminder of the moment in her life. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It could be. But you know what? We're going to leave that right there. We're going to leave OnlyFans over there.
Yeah.
You know, you guys have any final words?
Cancer sucks. Great job beating it. You know, there's no good way to get cancer. So it's
there's not.
At any time. Yeah. So that's great that she's surviving and beating it. So that's fantastic.
Yeah. So anyway, so we've come to the end of our show for today. You know, I want to thank you guys for being on.
Yeah, thank you, Frank.
No, thank you. No, anytime. You know, it's been fun. You know,
I love your viewers sending in messages. That's so cool to have them interact.
Yeah, we actually drive on that. You know, we have we engage you guys. Ovi, yes, they're great. We tend to engage with our audience on a regular show basis. You know, the fact that we're able to, you know, we go live and you know what, they start chiming in on our topics. You know, again, some nights are better than others. You know, tonight's been a good night. You know, great. Thank you. You know, so hey, you know what? Everybody liked the show. I mean, hey, we could bring you guys back on anytime you want. Pretty, you know,
awesome.
We, you know, between my co-host and I, we normally, you know, you guys want to come on. You guys have anything you want to talk about? You know what? Just bring it on. We'll talk about it. You know, at the end, what do we promote? And look, you know what, Lien, you actually have a question here for you.
Oh, what do I know about wrestling? Back in 1994 and 96 is when I was watching a lot and playing a lot of the WWE games. I played WWE games so much that Emmett's laughing because he remembers how much time I would spend playing. I mean, all the way back to, depending on how much you know, Ovi, back to Scott Steiner days.
No, he might be asking about Olympic wrestling, where you wear the awesome unitards.
No. Back when The Rock was the big thing, Stone Cold Steve Austin. So just watching. I don't know anything other than that. Just playing the video games and just being a fan when I was probably at the age of 14, 15 years old.
Don't trust your manager if you're in the WWE.
They always turn on you at some point or another, right?
Yeah, they come and get your girlfriend or something. I don't know how the story goes, but
I missed. Oh, the logo. It's just our the logo is just my the show name, which is Talks with Limley.
Yeah, different kind of show, but
well, I'll tell you why Liz is asking. Liz actually has her own business where she does logos. She actually did a shirt for us for the Hard Hitting Wrestling show. You know, so if you guys ever need a logo, you know, you could always reach out to her. You know, and stuff like that. You know, she does T-shirts, mugs, all that wonderful stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, she's saying your logo is trash. She could do way better.
To answer Zach's question, you could just Google it, Talks with Limley, and you'll find all the platforms: YouTube, Spotify, Pandora, Google Podcasts.
It's on TikTok too.
Apple Podcasts, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, everything.
Yeah.
Oh wow, you guys are on TikTok? How's that work with TikTok? I haven't ventured out to TikTok yet.
So my little secret for you guys, or if you use it in this way, is it's a 10,001 thing where it's advertising. You're going to put a TikTok video and you're going to try to get 10,000 views. And for every 10,000, I don't know if these are the numbers. I'm just throwing it out there. For every 10,000 views, you might get one subscriber. But the views, they come a lot quicker through TikTok and YouTube Shorts. So just make a 30-second clip, 1 minute clip, and try to post it up every week. It seems to work for podcasts from my understanding, and I only recently just started. So if you could do that for yourself, it may work.
Is it like if there's a 30-second part of Frank's show that's like the best nugget of knowledge or the funniest little part that would kind of grab somebody's attention for 30 seconds or a minute, and then that kind of just scrolls on TikTok and people see it and they see it and they see it and
gotcha.
It's pretty cool. I might want to go check out his other. I might want to see his whole show, right?
Right.
I say 10,001 because I think that probably YouTube, it's probably like 1,001 maybe. If you get 1,000 views, you probably get at least one subscriber. But TikTok's it's harder. But I mean, if you already have the video footage, if you're able to cut it, For me, I do my own video editing. It takes a lot of time. But just cut it up, throw it on TikTok, throw it on YouTube Shorts. They're the same thing, and you get some extra views and get some extra subscribers.
Right. Okay, all right.
Or
nice.
if you're a good dance, if you got good dance moves, you could throw a dance on TikTok. Show us some moves, Frank.
No, that's not gonna happen. That definitely won't happen. I mean, you could ask. I'm not sure if Catherine's still watching, but I'm sure she hears me. I mean, our house is not that big, so I'm sure she hears me. There's Catherine. Good idea, Catherine. Am I much of a dancer? Get him drunk and it'll. Oh gosh! Here go my buddies.
Look out!
Oh gosh, it'll be worse. I'm gonna assume.
Yeah.
Okay. Damn, Captain Frank's dancing at the car wash for getting 1 million views.
Cha-ching.
Oh, ching, ding, 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 ding. We all know he can't dance. You see, look, my sister said it perfect. My sister's my twin. The person that's known me the longest. We all know he can't dance. There we go.
Yeah.
That's
Videos
that.
are great, man. Your crowd is awesome.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Hey, but you know what? Speaking Review is brought to you guys by Clovercrest Media. Go check them out. They have over 40 different podcasts, ranging from sports, politics, murder, you name it. We probably have it. All right. So come check us out, clovercrestmedia.com. You might not agree with what we're speaking, or you might agree with what we're speaking. But at the end of the night or the day, whichever way you look at it, we are speaking it real. Always speak the truth and keep it real. We'll see you guys on Friday. Thank you for joining.
Everybody, we're here. We're still here. We'll be back July 5th. See, I'm already
July 5th. Excited for July 5th because we do have a lot of stuff in store for people. And it's going to be really good.
We've got Independence Day to talk about.
Oh, yes.
We've got Father's Day to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
We've got Juneteenth to talk about.
What's that?
Just kidding. And, of course, back to our regular politics, presidential things. Biden, he's been kicking under the rug a little bit. He got his first little angry, aggressive take on the media, so we're going to be digging into that. And, of course, Kamala's beautiful rendition of how beautiful Juneteenth is. So we'll be getting to that. So make sure you guys stick around. Don't count us out yet. Season 2's coming, and I promise you it's better than ever.
Plus, my favorite bit.
I'll piss you off shortly. Yep, that's racist.
Love it.
Make sure you guys are here. July 5th. I keep saying June. Damn it. July 5th. Monday night, 8 p.m. Me and Joe will piss you off shortly.
Season 2.
Peace.